realize one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Defeated and you're down for the count. You feel like life has thrown you blows and God ain't been around. But I've come to encourage you, so hold your head high. Know that God is in your corner now. Inner life, you are a winner. You just can't lose. Who burn a KO more than a conqueror? Jesus in you. You are a winner. You are born to win. More than a conqueror, power within. You are a winner. Somebody's saying to me now, you just don't understand. No, I understand you very well. Where I've been, so I come to encourage you, pull you up by your hand. Know that God is in your corner now. Your success is His plan, and you are a winner. You just can't move.
Ooh, amen, amen. What an amazing song. My God. I'll have all the listeners know Hooper Nikeos, which this woman mentions in her song. It means to overconquer. We are more than conquerors. We are conquerors through Jesus Christ, who has given us the victory. Welcome, 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 and thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Show on Elations Radio. I am your darling host, Chanel Lynn, and special thanks to the lovely Miss Kimmy Kim and Jerry Royce at PositivePower21.org. We have an amazing show on tonight. Here blessing us with her amazing yet humble story, we have a very special guest with us on tonight. She is ready. We're going to share poetry at the end of the show, so you all please stay tuned. You do not want to change that dial. Keep your ears glued because we are going to have fun on tonight. But first, let me share a bit of her story. Her name is Christina Britt. She was born and raised here in St. Louis, Missouri. Her family split up when she was just at the tender age of 5 years old. She was placed in foster care, went from foster home to foster home, and suffered mental and even sexual abuse in mostly every foster home she'd been in. She became independent at the age of 18 and became pregnant with her first child, and her life became even harder. During this time, she reunited with her mother, where she felt some sense of relief from her troubles, but was betrayed by her mother in one of the worst ways, she says. In turn, it was impossible for Christina to trust anyone. She says that she was diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia at the age of 23 because of all the betrayal and turmoil that she endured. She didn't have an outlet. No one was there for her to even vent to. She began to mold herself in the way others wanted her to be, she said, getting hurt even more along the way. So many people would say they'd help, but really just wanted her body, wanted to use her for her body. My God. She became numb, she says. She became numb to that. She was in survival mode at the time, so she used her body as a tool to survive for that time being. However, God had a purpose for her, but she didn't really know who he was at that particular time. She started studying while seeking the face of God. She says that he molded her heart, in which it is used for nothing more than loving people and wanting to see them walk in their purpose. So she took her obstacles as teaching tools because she knew she was supposed to spread motivation and love throughout her environment. Miss Britt now has 3 children and married to her wonderful husband of 7 years, Mr. Robert Britt. Christina is now a motivational speaker and loves to make people smile. And looks past everyone's flaws and seeks the good in them. Christina has made a complete turnaround for the better in her life, and doors have been opening for her ever since. Wow! What an amazing life story this is, sis, and what a wonderful, inspiring woman you've become, Britt. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. I can hear you just fine.
Okay,
So, Christina, you might want to turn your volume up just a little bit if you can. Just a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me just fine?
I can hear you perfect.
Okay. So, Christina, part of your story, I'm just going to dive right in because I want to make sure that we share enough of your story and still have time to share some poetry because you, honey, are amazing. You woke up the poet in me, so I'm just going to share one of my short poems at the end of this. Okay. So Christina, in part of your story, you stated that there was a time when your mother betrayed you in one of the worst ways, and I'm sure the listeners would probably like to know what happened.
That's deep.
Yeah.
So I met my mom when I was 16, and if she's listening, she would kill me if she heard this, but somebody needs to hear it.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
I met her when I was 16 years old. I was actually in an abusive relationship with my daughter's dad. And I met her actually when my grandmother passed away. So with me being in an abusive relationship, I had nowhere to go, and I met my mom, so I started living with her. She had a guy friend at the time, and he would take her to his house, and for some reason end up in the bed with me in the morning. So now I will say he never touched me, but it was the point that he didn't have any clothes on. He left her door open, unlocked. So to me, it seemed like he knew what he was doing, you know, and it happened 3 times. My mom the second time, and the second time she saw him, she kind of like woke him up and got him dressed and took him back to his house, and she stayed there for the last time it happened, I took his credit cards, I took his money, I took everything, and I was like, I'm going to get you. I took his car, went shopping, and my mom pretty much was like, see, we're not engaged because of you now. See how this happened? We're not engaged because of you. I don't even understand why you did this. So she's married to him to this day. So that right, and he's a pastor. So that kind of like really hurt my soul because I was excited. I was excited to meet my mother. I didn't know who she was. I knew she sang, and I used to look on TV like, is this her? Is this her? Because every light-skinned woman on TV was my mother, you know, especially if she could. So, that happened, and it's like ever since then she's been one of those parents that we hear about where they'll take their husband's side more than their kids. Yeah. And be, you know, more adapt to them. However, I didn't really know her story until just recently.
Okay.
Because she came from a hurtful place at the same time. But with her hurting me like that, you know, this is my mother. I just met her. You know what I mean? And for her to be like, we're not engaged because of you, and then marry him. At that point in my life, I was just like, if my mom can do this betrayal, then I don't trust anyone. So I need to learn how to do everything myself. Whatever it is, God, I want you to teach me. I don't want anybody else to teach me, you know. So that's where my heart became real hard at, and I'm very it's like a stubbornness. So
I mean, I can imagine, you know, I can just imagine, you know, first the joy, you know, that you felt, the happiness that you felt, and the sense of peace for the moment when you finally met your mom. You know, we long for the woman who birthed us into the world. You know, we don't really know who we are, where we get our character from. Why do we do some of the things that we do that we may not understand? And, you know, so finally meeting your mom, I can, you know, kind of imagine, you're like, man, you kind of feel like you're at home for a bit. You know, you kind of feel at peace. I understand. And then for her to, you know, basically show you her flaws, and here you were hurt all over again, you know, and God bless you, Christy. I really appreciate you and your transparency, because it is very important, you know, to even share, even if, you know, those who have hurt us in the past, they may not, you know, like for us to share our story, but this is your story, and you have the right to share it, you know, and people need to hear it because, you know, people are going through where God had brought you out of. Christina, exactly. So like also, in your story, you also stated that you were diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia. Now, how did that happen? What is, first, can you tell us what is bipolar schizophrenia, and how would you know that you needed, you know, a psychological assessment to even be diagnosed in the first place?
Well, at this time I didn't really have anywhere to go. So my mom told me about my aunt that was in another state in Tennessee. So I went down to live with them, and a lot of things happened to where I had to come back to St. Louis to take care of, like, warrants and licenses and all that stuff. So in the process of me coming back here to get that straight to go back down there, my aunt was like, you know what, I would rather you just stay up there. But I had moved everything down there. So I'm like, why? You know, so in the process of that, I ended up getting my own place in Tennessee, in Lexington. I moved back and got my own employment and all that. But I always felt like people were out to get me. I always felt like paranoid, and I started talking to her. And within that counseling moment, she's the one that really diagnosed me with bipolar schizophrenia. Due to the outcome of situations that I've been in, and how my mentality was working. Bipolar schizophrenia bipolarness is a job within itself. You can be happy one moment, and all of a sudden you can start crying and be mad, and so your moods change rapidly without even you knowing. And the schizophrenia part is more of the paranoia aspects of it. And my uncle actually has that. And I see how he deals with it. He always thinks that people don't like him, or he feels like we're out for him, but we love him, you know. But he doesn't believe that. And that's where I found myself as well. So I started taking medicine and all that. However, like I said, I always wanted to know who God was, and I didn't feel like that medicine for me I didn't feel like that medicine was for me. So I just started really diving more into the Word, because I didn't have any, you know, and I stopped taking the medicine because I didn't feel like her diagnosing me with bipolar schizophrenia was true, because my God said something. You know what I mean? He said. You said what now? Because God said what? God said something different. You know, I'm not bipolar schizophrenia, and that's the attitude that I started having at that point. And you know, you go through situations and people be like, "You crazy? What's wrong with you? Something wrong with your mind? Something wrong with your head? I don't understand why you're doing this, and I don't understand. You need to go get checked out." You know, so a lot of times people say that to me all the time. So I think that I let people guide me into that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I molded myself to how people wanted me to be. I never was myself. I always had to follow some type of authority my whole entire life. So like, what were the effects of, like, when you took the medication? Were there certain effects of it that made you feel like, you know, this isn't for me, or did you just didn't want to stop taking? I mean, you just didn't want to take it anymore. I started taking it, but I didn't feel any different. I didn't feel. And then back then I was smoking and all that too. So I felt like I can just smoke and not take the medicine, you know. I can just smoke and I'll be fine, you know what I mean? So that's what I started doing. So marijuana became a pacifier for me for a long time. Very long time. Never did anything harder until a little bit later in my life, but that was like a month's time. Because for some reason, every time I want to do what the world wants to do, something happens to where something happens to where I went out for a second. You went out for a second. What was that? Can you hear me now? I can hear you. Yeah. Okay. Like, every time I want to do, you know, I wanted to be gay. I wanted to be a lesbian. I wanted to do this and do that, but God had something different. Every time I wanted to, people wouldn't take me serious, and you know, I'll be trying too hard or something like that. Now, Christina,
when you say that, was when you were like living that lifestyle and everything, like before you even, came to know the Lord, was there ever a time when you said to yourself, or you looked around and you said to yourself, I don't want to be this way. I don't want this. I don't want my life to be this way. I don't want this for myself. Was there ever a time when you did that?
All the time. I mold myself to how other people are, but I knew that wasn't me. But in order for me to have a place to stay, or get a ride, or get something that I needed to survive, I had to mold myself like that. But I didn't want to be like that.
Wow.
And that's why I started, seeking God, because I knew He was always there, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter how life got me, I never had to sleep on a curb. I never had to sleep on a bus stop. I never had to be outside for change, because I always had something better for me. And it's crazy because I always said, and anybody that knows me will confirm it. Like, I always said, I have to go through this because God wants me to talk to people that's going through this. So I have to go through it in order for my purpose to be fulfilled. Because when I'm 7 years old, I'm in my bunk bed acting like I'm talking to Crips and Bloods to put their guns down. Like, I knew, back then I wanted to become somebody that helps people change their life.
It was just in you.
It was just in me, I'm 7 years old in my bed at night, like, you need to put your gun down, and you need to, everybody come together.
Wow.
That's what I was doing back then, and I guess God has set me apart, but in order for me to understand when people need help, I have to feel how they feel.
Wow, Christina.
And that's just how I've been going on in life. And that's what I have to tell myself, that's just how I really, really have been. I'm not one of those people that ever been mad at God. I've never been mad at him about anything, because I always knew of him, but I didn't know him, but I always, and for me not to be able to sleep on the street, and for me not to be having to panhandle and things like that, I knew that he was there with me. So when people say, my mama raised me, my daddy raised, I say, God raised me, because that's who raised me, that's who molded my heart the way it is. And I just, and I can't be that ignorant person towards people. I just can't. And everybody say, girl, you better than me, because I would have did this and I would have did that. Well, we read this word and we say faith without works is dead. But where in the Bible does he say doubt your faith? Where does he say do that? Because people will be like, oh, you living for God, but God said don't be no fool. You need to get some kind of income. Okay, where's your faith at? Because now you're not trusting in him. And that's how I look at things. Like, you're not trusting in God. God will provide. He will provide. If turn from your wicked ways is what he said. If you turn from your wicked ways from in front of your door, the door can be open for you, and he will walk through the door with you. So that's the type of mentality he has me in. I'm always joyful, and always wanting to see somebody smile and do better for themselves. That's just how he molded me. I can't even see wrong in.
So, man, girl, it's so amazing to me that you still, like, you had that positive outlook on God even before you even knew who he was, early on, and then, going through all of the horrific things that you had to endure. And by the way, I am, I'm just truly, my heart really just, it goes out to you, sis. You endured so much, and our stories are so similar. You have no idea. And it's just amazing to me that, you know, you was able to recognize that God was still there for you, even when you didn't even know who he was, that God was
Right.
even keeping you, even then, you know. Wow, that's amazing. So what my question is, like, when and how did you come to find out who God was to you in your life?
Somebody was praying for me, and somebody was praying for me, and within seeking, I started reading His Word. You know, I started reading the Word and trying to figure out what it meant and trying to apply it to my life. I think it really happened when I ran away from this home, trying to go with a guy that lived in another state, and his sister came in, and within all, when his sister came and got me, I was pretty much raped 6 times within that Saturday and that.
Jesus.
And I didn't realize that she was setting me up the whole way.
Jesus.
So I went to an emergency foster home that I knew about before I ran away from the home I was in. And I called them up, and they came and got me. And she was heavily in church, and so was he, her husband.
Wow. The ones that were setting you up and raping you and so on and so forth.
Oh, no. So after those 2 days, I called. I'm just gonna call her Miss C. I called Miss and asked Miss C to come and get me because it was getting too overwhelming, and I didn't know who to call, but for some reason her name and her number just popped up in my mind on that Sunday. So I went on and called her, and Miss C came and got me. However, while I was living there, my therapist started coming, and my foster dad at the time, he started coming in and touching me inappropriately. So
wow.
After all that, I was like, no, God, this can't keep happening. You know, I need something different. But like I said, I always had in my mind I have to go through this in order to help other people. That's your calling. That's your calling. That's your calling. That's what I've been saying my whole life. I have to.
So let me get this right. Let me get this right, Christina. So everything that, mind you, I am so sorry that all of that had happened to you, Christina. I mean,
okay.
This is, you know, but I know that, you know, it was a horrifying event after a horrifying event. But thank God for your outcome. So while you were going through these horrifying things, you know, being raped and so on and so forth, so you reached out for help only to be abused yet again.
Exactly.
Wow.
So my heart's hardening, like everybody. And my husband will tell you, like, he gets to the point where he's like, babe, stop giving your heart to people because they keep breaking it. They keep betraying. He thought I was just playing when I told him that, you know, this is what happens. You know, he thought I was just playing until I started living with him, and he's like, oh, wow, people are really doing that. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm here for a reason. I'm still breathing for a reason. I'm still joyous and smiling for a reason.
Wow, Christina.
Somebody needs the story. I can't help you if you've been molested or raped, and I never have been. I can't feel that pain and really be affected towards you. So I think that's why. So I started building a relationship with God after Miss C and that incident. I really started real deep into it because I didn't have an outlet. So the only person I did have was God. So when I started seeking real hard because I'm like, God, why am I getting afraid? I don't understand, like, what is it about me, you know? And that's what people would ask, what is it about you that, why you don't have no friends? Why you don't have this and why you don't have that? And I never never had an answer for them. Like, I don't know. No one ever tells me. They just stop messing with me. They just leave me alone. I don't understand, you know. But
honey,
but it's just it's amazing because how my mind works. I feel like he didn't have me with any of the worldly friends that I was trying to connect with. Like, he set me apart from those people, but I wasn't trying to hear all that. I wasn't trying to do all that at the time because, you know, I was in survival mode. My faith wasn't as strong as it is now. You know, my faith was there, but I don't think it wasn't strong enough for me to let everything go. You know,
I mean, but when you said that you didn't really have any friends, what came to my mind was eagles fly alone. Eagles fly alone. You know, and eagles are considered like one of the strongest birds on the face of the earth. The Bible talks about eagles because they are so strong. Basically, children of God, we will walk and not grow weary. Run and not faint, but we should mount up. With wings as eagles. My God. Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm just going to say just a split for a brief moment something about eagles because this just dropped in my spirit about you. Eagles, and I share this all the time. Well, whenever it comes to me, but when storms come, I mean horrifying storms, when you see, it's dark outside and it's raining really hard and lightning crashing and thunder is roaring. Do you know that while all of the other birds on the face of the earth, they'll find their homes and try to hide from the storm, eagles will use the violent winds of the storm to soar higher and higher and higher. And you just so remind me of how the eagles are. Oh, my God. Honey.
You're going to make me cry right now.
It just seems like, and I'm just sharing what God is dropping in my spirit, Christina. This is for you. All of the horrifying storms that you have had to endure in your life, God has empowered you to soar higher and higher and higher, and the best for you is yet to come. Lord, have mercy. My God in heaven. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. So Christina, while we're on that subject, where you're talking about being abused and so on and so forth, thank God you're married now. So I'm guessing now that you said that you had this conversation with your husband. So I'm guessing that you did share your story with your husband, right?
Oh yeah, we became friends before we were married. We met at work and we just clicked from then, and I used to go over his house, but we never, we were never touchy-feely or anything. We were just friends.
Yeah.
I would sit there, watch TV, and I would go home next day, and we would just do that every day. And we had this little hand clap we did. Like, one time, we just did that for like 6 months down the line. He never tried anything. He never came on to me like that. We were just best friends. And then all of a sudden we just said, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this.
Wow.
Our friendship bond is what keeps us together. Our marriage is hard. I'm not gonna lie about that, but our friendship bond is amazing because he's so different from everybody else that I've known. Like, he's not your typical type of guy. He's so humble.
Yeah. Wow.
Very humble. And I used to have an attitude. Like, my mouth is something else.
Thank you.
And he has humbled that.
Wow.
He has helped me grow, and he helped me mature.
Wow.
Now,
Girl, that's amazing.
Yes, he
That's
is.
amazing.
That's why I love him so much, because
Wow.
no matter what, if we don't have a dime, he's still there. He's not going to leave because things get hard. I try to leave when things get hard, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
right. Where do you think you're going?
Yeah, he's like, "I'm here for you. Stop doing that," because everything that happened to me, like when I was in foster care, every time something went wrong or something, I would move to a different home. I would move to a different foster home.
Yeah.
That's how
So you grew accustomed. You grew accustomed to when things went wrong, it's time to go. It's time to go. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care what's going on. Something went down. It's time to go.
Exactly. But he'll stand in the way like, no, we're gonna work. We're gonna deal with this, and we might be mad at each other, but 5 minutes later, we'll talk it out, and that's what I love about him.
That is the love of God, honey. You know, you are encouraging me right now because, and I'm trying not to cry. Okay.
I was trying not to.
Because but Christina, that gives me hope. Because like I said, you know, I didn't go. Some of the things that you had to endure, I didn't go through, but our stories are really, really similar. I've gone to the foster homes and so on and so forth, Christina. I've had, you know, people judge me, you know, because of my situation in the past back then. And, you know, people or women like us that have gone through, that are single, that have gone through horrific things like we've gone through, we kind of lose hope. We don't, you know, it's almost like, I don't really want to say that we lose faith, but it's like you know, we encounter so many people who are shallow, who that they basically don't know or don't have the love of God in them to see, hey, this was my past. This is not who I am. It's what I went through, but it made me stronger and much more humble and, you know, made me, you know, stronger and even wiser. But a lot of men or a lot of people are too shallow or too naive to even see that. And so a lot of women feel like there's no hope, we'll never get married or anything like that. And I'm not saying that I feel this way now, but I know that, you know, throughout my life, I did feel like that. And I know that there are a lot of women that do feel like that, but you have gone through hell and high water. And here you have a husband, honey, that didn't even judge your situation. He didn't judge your past. All of the horrifying things that you went, things that you did, you know, he didn't say, oh, my God, you know, you're damaged goods. Right. You know what I'm saying? No, he has the love of God. And the thing about it, though, about God that I love so much, even about your story, your husband is it's like God strategically and divinely created his soul for your soul. It's like the love and humbleness that he has in his heart. That's exactly who you needed of a husband to be. You know what I'm saying? Because when you've gone through hell and so much hell in your life, you can't be tied to someone who does not know how to love you past your pain. Because when we've gone through like that, a lot of times our minds are wired in that thing. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, God will deliver us emotionally and everything else, but sometimes we need that love from a companion to mellow us out, to rewire us. And it just seems like that's what your husband helped you do from what you're saying about, like, you know, how you and your husband are in your marriage. That's absolutely amazing, Christina. Was there ever a time when he did judge you and then turn around and say, you know what, that's you know, it doesn't matter or anything like that? Or what did he say? What did he say when you did tell him though your story? What did he say?
He was crying with me.
Oh,
My husband is our personalities kind of match because very outgoing. You wouldn't think that just by looking at him, you wouldn't think that he's the type of guy he is. But when you talk to him, he's the coolest. I feel like he's the dopest person I've ever met in my life because when he gets mad, you can never see it. He never yells. He never even when we argue or whatever, have differences, he never raises his voice. He never raises his hand at me. He never does that. He just like, Chrissy, come on, Chrissy, let's talk this out. Let's talk about it. That's how he is. And when I shared my story with him, he's just like, wow, like how you are right now. He's just like, wow, I just can't believe all that. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, his heart went out to you. Yeah.
Yeah. And he just makes sure that my heart stays protected now. He's extremely territorial towards me.
Yeah.
And, sometimes I appreciate it.
He's protective. He's protective of you.
He's very
protective. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and he does
That's
not
amazing.
want my heart to be broken or any of that. But, it took me a while to see that because I'm so used to guys using me and being gone or abusing me. When they get mad, they use their fists and all of that, So
Jesus.
When my husband wakes up in the morning, he reads the word in the morning on his phone. Gets that word out and he reads it, and then he goes about his day. He's so humble.
Wow.
That's what attracted me to him, his humbleness.
Yeah.
He's very. My husband has lost a lot of stuff before I met him, and for him to just be so humble about it is amazing. And I just was motivated by his humbleness, and like I said, he helped me mature and helped me grow, because things would tick me off real quick, but I how to be humble with him, So sometimes I feel like we as women, we look for the love of the world, but not of God for love, We don't really look for that next man that, oh, he got money, he got a car, like that. Yeah, he has all that. You don't, He doesn't have to share all that with you. But if you are, that independent woman that wants her heart to be protected, there are steps to take in order for that to happen. And the very first step to take is saying, I'm no longer going to feel like this. I'm no longer going to be depressed anymore. I'm not going to lay on this bed because somebody else made me feel like this. Because I have a say-so over my own emotions. And I'm never going to let a guy or a woman or whoever come in and deter me from my happiness, because they have to live with me. Anybody can do anything and guide you in the wrong direction if you don't have God in your life. And that's what was going on with when I was growing up and going through all those foster homes and things like that. I didn't know who God was, but I was really reading the word, the book of Proverbs. Yeah. That wisdom book. I love that because it helps you mentally, and it helps you. It really does help you mentally. And grow that love, and it helps you understand that the world can lead you to hell, but God,
absolutely,
leads you to eternity. So whatever hate that you have in your heart for yourself, got to look in the mirror. Like I told my friend, this girl that I was friends with, I told her every day, this is what we're going to do. We're going to wake up in the morning together, and we're going to both look in the mirror, and we're going to tell each other that we're going to tell that person in the mirror that you're beautiful, and you're going to smile at that person. And as soon as you smile, your day is going to be better.
Absolutely.
Just a smile, just that little step right there, one step at a time.
Absolutely.
Will help your self-esteem. Because my self-esteem was low. I'm not gonna lie. It was very low, to the point, like I said, I was using my body as a tool to survive. The only way I could sleep at certain people's houses is if I used my body, and that's just how I got strong. But God just had something for me. That's just, I don't know. I don't even know how to
It's
explain
awesome.
it.
It's amazing. I totally understand exactly what you're saying. And I mean, it's very real and very deep. And everything that you said was just really, it was on point and really real and very inspiring. I'm sure, honey, there are plenty of women that are, doing that now, and they don't feel, the self-esteem, just like what you were saying, that you had low self-esteem, and you're so right, about, waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror and saying positive things, about yourself. Do you know I do that to myself every morning? I get up and I look in the mirror, and I let myself know how beautiful I am and everything. Because and some people on the outside looking in will say, oh, well, she's stuck up. She thinks she's all that. It's all about her, this and that and the other. And that's totally not the case at all. No, you're humble, but at the same time, you know that it's important to love yourself. There's nothing wrong with being confident within yourself, knowing who you are in God and who you are as a woman, and knowing that, you love the good things, even the bad things, your flaws and everything. Just loving yourself is highly empowering. The world will you be able to love on somebody else.
Right. And it's important.
Absolutely amazing.
It's important to also check yourself. You know what I mean? It's important to do that too. Like I sometimes I do look in the mirror and be like, really? What's wrong with you? Did you really have to go there? Like, for real. Like, I will literally talk to myself like I'm my own mama. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? You need to go back in there and apologize, or you need to do this or do that. So, because you already know that was wrong. You know what I mean? So, those type of, I guess it's just.
I mean, that's being humble as well, That's being humble,
You have to take responsibility for your actions, regardless of if they right or wrong. And when people ask you, did you do this? Did you do that? Yes, I did. Just admit it. It's not whether they have no judgment over your life at all. If you were wrong, you have to admit that you were wrong in order to move forward.
Exactly. To correct the error.
Yes. You can't just. A lot of times the world justifies the craziness that we do, and our excuse for it is, oh, no one's perfect. Okay, we understand that, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that you have to.
It doesn't mean stay in that thing.
Yeah, because you.
That doesn't mean stay in that imperfection. Yeah,
and you're not.
You strive to be a better you.
Absolutely. Resistance. You have to resist those temptations in order to become strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't want to smoke anymore, you're going to be tempted. You're going to be tempted. Whatever you're trying not to do, you're going to be tempted to do that. But the strength comes in when you say, you know what, I don't need that because God got me. He has me. I'm good. He's never going to leave me or forsake me. But we have to really believe that. We can't be like, he's never going to leave me or forsake me, but I don't know where this money going to come from. And I'm like, if the trees can bow down to him, the trees, they don't know when they're going to get cut down. They're not saying tomorrow I'm going to be a stump. No, they still bow regardless. They still praise God regardless. God made everything, animals and all that. They praise him too. You know what I mean? And it's like, if they can do it, they don't know when they're going to get chopped up. They don't know when they're going to die, but they still have that faith to praise him. And
right. Like, I mean, if the earth, I see what you're saying. If the earth can basically obey God, surely we can, no matter what. You know what helps me? You know what helps me sometimes when I'm, going through, like, the temptations and so on and so forth. Sometimes it helps me to know that, these things are only going to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? These things are only going to hurt my body or hurt my health or hurt me emotionally or mentally, that only God knows what's best for me. And so it's best to just be obedient to what God has called me to do. And, to have faith that God is going to bless my obedience. You know what I'm saying? Because it's exactly where your blessings come from being obedient to God. Christina, are you ready for some poetry?
I got a little bit. But yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Honey, do you know? You woke up the poet within me. You did, girl. You did. And so, real quick, I'm just going to I'm gonna share my little short piece of poetry, and I'm gonna step outside of, Chanel Lynn, the talk show host. I'm gonna go ahead and, I'm gonna get down and get a little thuggish, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna make this, like real cool, real, you know what I'm saying, real fun.
Right.
So don't laugh at me. All my listeners,
I'm not gonna
Christina,
laugh.
Britt, don't laugh at me, girl. Don't laugh. Don't you laugh.
All right. Serious face.
All right.
Face.
So the title of this short poem is "Saying Goodbye to Judas," and I think this poem is like so fitting for what we're talking about, like your story and everything. I wrote this poem, girl, years ago. I wrote this little short poem years ago, and when I was going through, hell and high water, and I was dealing with some betrayal with, myself, So here we go. I'm just gonna dive in. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Is you ready, girl?
I'm ready.
All right. My soul is screaming. My heart is still bleeding. But greatness is written in blood on the scrolls of my destiny.
Oh, wow.
And you pretended to love me, talking as if you knew what was best for me, yet hoping that I failed miserably. Dealing with you has been the biggest test for me, letting Satan use you to try and get the best of me. I loved you, and you hated me. But God finally placed me in the land of milk and honey. You want in, but, you can't even sit with me. Today, I chuck up the deuces because you're history. And how I triumph to you is a mystery. It's time to put to death the ill wishes you wished against me. So here's your obituary. Don't worry, I was nice enough to put in loving memory. Oh, she tight with it. They not ready.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't. Hey,
Christina.
That's better than that's better than that. I'm telling you.
No, no, it's not, girl.
Keep doing that. Yes, that was amazing. Oh my God.
I'm glad you liked it, girl.
I love
that years
that.
ago. Oh,
I'm like,
thank
okay.
you, boo.
I'm like, I should have went first, and you should have went last.
I should have went last, girl. I'm like,
because that was
whatever,
wonderful.
Christina, you being humble.
No, I'm serious.
Thank
like,
you,
mine
sis.
is so basic right now. Like, okay. So I don't have a
Go
title
ahead,
for
Chris.
this.
Okay.
I don't have a title, but I'm just going to start. Okay. The enemy can come and go as it pleases because of our secret sins. We have the power to let things go, but we steady let it survive inside of our hearts, our minds, along with the pain, the hurt, the sorrow, the agony. But things feel too good to let go, too good to give up, too hard to try. But at the end of the day, you find yourself questioning why. Why am I living this way? Why am I getting nowhere? Why am I all alone? Why doesn't anyone care? You begin to let things go, and a little spark of light begins to shine. You tell yourself, I'm not perfect, but at least I can try. You begin to give up more and more until that spark turns into a full light, no longer dim, but shining so bright. You then realize this is the life. This is the life. Hold on. You then realize this is the life. This is what feels good. This wasn't too hard to try. You begin to learn that strength is in your resistance. God built you to be strong. He built you to be able to love like him. So much so you would see your brother and your sister win. Not money or fame, but the wisdom in Jesus' name. That's it.
Snap, 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 snap. That was good.
Like
that
I
was
said,
great.
Yours
oh
was
my
better.
God.
Yours was better.
I think my presentation, I put a lot of emphasis. That's you know what I'm saying. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Ooh, whatever. No, yours
No,
I
you know-
absolutely loved.
No.
You know what, Christina? We need to get together and like for real, like do some poetry together. Like, man, that would be like a great idea. I'm coming up with some ideas, honey. I'm gonna do an event. We gonna do some poetry together. We gonna rock this thing.
Most
Honey,
definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I nicknamed you Britt Britt.
That's cool.
I
too.
thank you so much, Britt Britt, for sharing. For your transparency and sharing your story. You have a beautiful story, even though you went through all the hell and high water. You've been through the fire, and you have truly become like gold. Like your life is you're flourishing, you're blossoming, you're blooming, and you're so positive now, and you're inspiring. I just want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, sis. Seriously, I just thank you so much for blessing Let's Talk with your story, and your presence. You have blessed me and given me some hope, honey. I thank God, for even just sending you, what I'm saying? He's your Boaz, your husband. You know what I'm saying? So it just gives me some hope. And I'm sure it gives, the other women, the listeners, some hope as well. And hopefully let some men know, you know what I'm saying, not to judge, a woman by her past, even her mistakes and so on and so forth, and to, look at the heart of the woman. Thank you so much once again, sis. Or is there anything that you would like to say, any kind of words, real quick, because we are out of time, but would you like to share some words of encouragement or inspiration for the women out here?
All I will say is everybody is stronger than their storm. No matter how it looks, no matter how it feels, there is a reason why you're going through it. And you're not going to see the reason at first. But if you just trust God and believe, He will get you out of that storm and renew your strength and your peace. So never let go of that. Never let go of your own love for yourself. Never let that go. That's what I would say.
Amen.
Never let go of your own self-love.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Christina, is there like some ministry or something like that you do? I know you mentioned something about, you volunteer, you do some kind of volunteering. Can you share that a little bit? What is it that you do that you want people to know?
I actually have a up and coming, it's kind of there, called Love Out Loud. And Love Out Loud is pretty much giving people their flowers while they're still living and be able to enjoy those flowers. So every Saturday I'm on Facebook. I'm starting to do the YouTube channel as well, doing shout outs. So this week I'm doing like new car, new houses, new car, new house, new job. So those that want to shout someone out because they're proud of them, you can get on my Love Out Loud page and, inbox me, and I will definitely shout them out because we need more motivation and more love being shown on social media instead of all the killings and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, hon. And I'm gonna join you when you volunteer too as well. But we'll talk about that after the show. I'd like to thank my listeners for tuning in once again to Let's Talk Show right here on Elections Radio, where we are striving to change the world one show at a time. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. You all have a wonderful evening and a great week. God bless you. I love you, Christina. I'll talk to you real soon.
Too.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.